Let's start with the magnetic field measurement. As we say, you can easily start by putting all switches to their upper position and start measuring. At this moment you will measure the magnetic field in 3D and the electrical field one-dimensional, all with true RMS and without recording to the SD card. To measure magnetic fields you do not have to ground the instrument, of course, so you can directly start measuring. The NFA shows the sum of the axes on the display. Usually magnetic fields are used for long-time recordings because they tend to change depending on the current flowing in the network, compared to electrical fields which are usually constant and just depending on the voltage. For a long-time recording, just switch the NFA to log. Now it is measuring 110,000 times per second and writes the maximum value 10 times per second on the SD card. The name of the log file is indicated on the display, alternating between log time and file name. To simultaneously see the values you are recording, just start the data logging in position log. Wait until you see the file name and then switch to position on. Now you keep on recording to the SD card. Switching from log to on and back has no influence. Just changing any other settings or turning off the NFA will stop the record. You can also completely lock the NFA. Please see further instructions in the manual. For measuring the electrical field you have two options: 3D without ground reference and one-dimensional with reference to ground. For a three-dimensional so-called floating measurement, we switch the NFA to E3D. Now it should theoretically float in the room without any contact to your hand, a furniture or the bed. To reach these floating ground reference-free circumstances, we offer a non-conductive stand, our PM1. Or the rod PM4S, both made out of a special non-conductive material. The PM4S is very handy and allows you to measure in movement. Of course you have to compare now the safe levels for measurements without ground reference, which are about 5 times lower than measuring against ground. Thanks to the big display you can read the values even from a distance. For single-axis measurements with ground reference, please switch the NFA to M3D to activate the fourth channel as one-dimensional electrical field. If you plug in the grounding cable, the NFA switches automatically to the 1D E-field mode. To measure in accordance to the TCO standard, we offer our TCO3 antenna. The standardized probe is connected on the top of the meter. Please make sure to slide it completely in to avoid a faulty connection. All functions such as band, frequency or signal evaluation stay always the same. They can be used equally for the magnetic fields or the electrical fields and correspond to the selected measuring mode. Electrical fields in 3D. Single axis with ground reference, or 1- and 3-dimensional magnetic fields. With the NFA1000 you can easily measure, record and analyze from 5 Hz to 1 MHz. Professional technology, easy to handle. Have fun!